This is the application for the Aqara Smart Pet Feeder C1. As you can see right here, I have my Aquara G3 hub, which is my Zigbee hub, which is allowing me to use this. Right on here, I have a card for it. It is located on the home board. If you have a security monitoring board, it's not going to be there. It's going to be on your home. From here, I can quick toggle a feed if I want to. My cat's in the kitchen currently and eating dinner, so I don't want to give him more food. But if I selected that, it would drop some more food for him. If I select the card for the C1 right here, we could see up here at the top the name of the pet feeder. We could see the portions that have been fed today. And I'll insert some clips of actual information. It will show the number of portions, the total grams, which is guesstimates if you don't calibrate it yourself. We have a button to feed immediately. So if I did this, it would drop a portioned amount. And then down here, we have one-time feeding amount. These are our portions. So whenever I click this, what it's going to do is drop one portion, which is about 8 grams. Now you can go all the way up to a portion size 10, which would be the equivalent of 80 grams worth of food. But my recommendation is to fine tune it before you actually start using with your pet. If you have an idea of the scoop that you use, that's how I did it. I portioned it out and then figured out what that equivalated to for the one-time portions. Now we do have a feeding schedule here, and you can turn this on or off. In my case, if I toggle that off, it will now turn off the feeding schedule, and you can see it's gray, or I could turn that back on. The event is pre-programmed for 3 times a day. If I need to edit this plan, I can do this simply by selecting the edit. I could change it to every day, Monday through Friday, weekends, custom, where I could click what I want it to be. We've got our feeding time. So if I select one of these, I can adjust the time and then the portion size. And like I said, you get 3 of those. If I press the plus sign here, I can actually add another feeding time and feeding amount. If for whatever reason you want to remove a feeding from the schedule, simply drag that over to the left and you can select delete. Very important to know that, so you don't have to worry about a 3 stacked feeding schedule like I had. And then down here we have our power supply. Currently I am on power and not battery. If I scroll back up to the top here, 3 dots in the corner, that's going to be our settings for this. Simply by selecting here, I could change the name. I could change its location. That's the device information, the FAQ for it, device privacy policy and manufacturer. And then there's device ID and firmware down there, which I will not be showing you. Coming down, device settings, we can turn off the indicator light. There is a blue light on the front of it if we don't want that to be displayed during 2100 through 0900. That's where we can do that. You have your child safety lock. So after activation, no food will be output through the manual button located on the feeder. And then for statistical, you have the ability to change your grams. It's not, again, going to change the output. It's merely for keeping track. Coming down, we have our hub. This is connected to my G3. That's the hub that it's working off of, and it'll bring you right into it if you select that. We have our Zigbee signal, and right there, you can see listed as good currently, and then excellent right now. And then it kind of shows you a chart, and you can pinch to zoom to get an idea of how your signal has been over the course of a day. We've got our firmware update. Click on that, it'll check. In this case, I do have a firmware, so I would select update and it would update it. We've got our related items of device. We've got our automations and scenes. If I select an automation, it's an if this, then that scenario. And a scene, similarly, it's add an action. So what do we want to happen? If you have more Aqara product, this will make more sense. This will give you more to play with. Device replacement, replacing this device with another. Gives you a little information about that policy, and then logs letting you know, hey, what's been going on with this feeder. And that's everything under the settings. But overall, that is everything that we can do in the Aqara app for the Aqara Smart Pet Feeder C1.